Yaketsutat, Lidikat Johan, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Yechet Yati, Yatsutat. Good morning, everybody. This morning I am in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. Please forgive my voice, I've got a sore throat right now. But I'm standing in the wheel lock bandstand of the previous Carlisle Indian Industrial School, the first Indian Industrial School, assimilationist boarding school that was built in the United States back in 1879. And right behind me here from the bandstand, where many Native children and young adults would have played as part of the school band. This is the building here. It's called Quarters 2, that was the residence of Colonel Pratt, the founder of the school, who had this idea to create this boarding school system and started the first one here in Carlisle. And I'm sure that many, if not all of you, have seen the famous or infamous photograph of hundreds of Native students at Carlisle standing and sitting in front of a building just like this, and that is that building. That is where that photograph was taken, in front of Pratt's residence and the headquarters for the school. It is a little surreal to be here in 2022, where this is still a military base for the U.S. Army. It's still in active use. These are actually residences, so there are people, families who live in these buildings and put up Halloween decorations. It's a few days before Halloween. It's a little surreal to see. This building, let me see, going the wrong direction. This building over here, this is called Quarters Number 3, and it was actually constructed by the students at the school in the late 1800s and was a residence. Behind me over here, these were the teachers' quarters, and it was a pretty old building. It's been renovated many times, I'm sure, but this base has a lot of history going back to the 18th century. It was set up by the British in central Pennsylvania, which was then the borderlands between the English colony of Pennsylvania and the borderlands of Indigenous peoples and the French that the British were competing with. So there's a lot of history here that then extended into the time of the boarding school. Over on this side, this is the Thorpe Gymnasium, which was also constructed by the students in the late 1800s, and of course named after Jim Thorpe, one of the most famous Indigenous athletes of all time, who was a student here at Carlisle in the early 1900s. So I'll leave it at that with what I'm sharing here. There's so much more to say. I've taken a lot of photographs. On the other side of the base from here is also where you will find the cemetery, with, I believe, well over 100 children buried there, and there were many more, some of whom who have been disinterred and sent home to be laid to rest there, but there's still over 100 students who are in that cemetery on the other side of the base, and I did not take a video there. But gonna sheesh for watching this video. I hope that it's educational. If you do get the opportunity to visit here, Carlisle in central Pennsylvania, you should. There's a lot of history to remember, and that we need to keep remembering. Gonna sheesh.